Hi, this is Glenda. This is my new toy. I have been completely preoccupied with this for the last 2 and a bit days since I got it. It's the Brother ScanNCut. I have to say this was not even on my shopping list because it's $600 here in Australia, and a lovely friend who's such a lovely enabler pointed out that Spotlight was honouring their 40% off coupon. So I got 40% off, and I can't resist a bargain. So although it was still fairly expensive, it suddenly went on my shopping list and into my car. I have a silhouette already. It's only the A4 size. And I had thought if I got something else it would be a 12-inch silhouette. Well, the ScanNCut does the 12 inches. So that was part of the justification. It also, all the demos I had seen, it looked quite good, and I thought it was worth a try, but as I say, not at the price it was, so yeah, I just couldn't help myself with the coupon. I suspect next time round they will be excluded, because they had to query it at the checkout. They weren't at all sure it was going to be covered by it. So anyway, straight out of the box, even with my granddaughter's help, we managed to cut the built-in shapes. I didn't read the instructions. I quickly looked at the getting started sheet to make sure that I didn't have my blade settings too high or anything and wreck my mat. I did do that. I didn't read them fully, but I skimmed through them. I have already got a slice and a silhouette, so I had some experience with electronic cutters, and I think that helps. If you didn't have any, then you would want to check your instructions and work out about loading paper and things like that to make sure you don't wreck the mat or the blade. But the built-in things straight out of the box, no problem whatsoever. Am I about to get rid of my silhouette? Absolutely not. This does some things beautifully. The silhouette does other things better. The feature that I absolutely adore out of this is that it will scan in what's on your mat, and then you can place your shapes with incredible precision. And I mean, I got my shapes out of this little 2-inch strip without any hassle. I couldn't do that on the silhouette. So that is because I told myself that everything that this did, the silhouette could do just with a few more steps, a silhouette and a scanner. That's not the case. The silhouette doesn't do this. This is brilliant, and that in itself is worthwhile because suddenly I can cut shapes with bits of paper, and I can also cut around stamped images and things. However, so far I have not mastered the scanning. Probably because I've been trying fairly intricate images, and what I've discovered is I absolutely love the machine. I absolutely hate the software. You've got very, very limited editing in the machine, and there's also an online program, so you have to be online to use it. There's nothing to put on your PC, and it's very proprietary, the format, so I'm not going to be able to swap anything between anything. In theory you can put SVG shapes in, and I had one go in perfectly, one didn't work at all. This is one of Bird's cards, and that went in and cut. Another one, similar style, it was all over the place, it just didn't read it properly. So their new software is just that, it's very new, and to me it's a beta program. It's flawed. However, I have just spent 2 days watching all the videos, and there's not very many tutorials, but all the videos out there that I could find, and sort of absorbing it all and trying bits and pieces. And believe it or not, this is my triumph. I wanted to cut shaped cards, all the dies out there at the moment, so I really wanted to be able to use this instead of buying a die to do them. and that's where I have really run amok with the software. It has been extremely difficult, but I got this far, and I mean, these are a little bit small perhaps, but you know, I've got there. So this was a prototype, and it's a bit bigger. Which way around does it go? I don't know. But it overlaps on the edges a bit, so I'm going to keep playing with this. I have done a tutorial by screen captures, and I will make these two files and the tutorial, I'll zip them all up and I'll put them on a shared drive and put a link in the comments. So anybody who's got a ScanNCut, it will only work with a ScanNCut. It's a proprietary file, but you'll be able to put it on your USB stick and plug it in. And you can then fiddle with it and, you know, resize it or whatever. But I've done the step-by-step of how I did this, because to get the shape to break and not make a cut line, I struggled and struggled and struggled. The instructions for using this software, I think, are limited. The actual software is super limited. I thought the Silhouette software was basic, but this is unbelievable. Why we have to do it online is beyond me, because as a craft, I want to get the absolute maximum out of it. Yes, I love that you can feed things in and just print them out and whatever in theory. I also want to be able to refine it. I want to do things with it. So that's my little rant and rave about it, but I do absolutely love it. I have been learning. I have only had it for 2 days, you know, and I have learnt a lot in that time. As I say, this feature where I cut all these little bits out of that little tiny strip so that nothing was wasted out of an old piece of paper, I thought that was tremendous. I really do, because that's always been the thing. I know Cricut people have always put shapes and cut them all out at once, and I thought by the time I did all that, I may as well just put it in each time. But with this, of course, you can put several colours on your mat at once, feed them in, it will be there. You can just line up your shapes on the screen, and I do think perhaps the Cricut market is one of the main ones this is aimed at. It does come with a lot of shapes already. It didn't come with any card shapes, and it didn't come with anything super delicate, so I haven't tried that yet. I imagine it will cut it, but I haven't tried, you know, super lacy things. The lovely dies we have now that are so lacy, I don't think the electronic cutters are ever going to quite match those. I mean, this is a tree die I just got. I think because of the way the dies kind of push the edges in and almost strengthen them, the electronic cutters just don't do that, and you know, there's a place for all these things. We need them all. So if you're thinking of getting one and you've got a coupon, you know, I'm not going to discourage anyone. I'm not sorry I've bought it 2 days in, and I am having a lot of fun learning a new toy, because I love learning new things. As I say, I'll put the screenshots of my tutorial at the end of this video, and I will also zip it all up, as I say, and put a link. The other thing I found is I did a Google search for free files to see if anybody's offering any free files yet, because if you've got one, you can share what you've already done, as long as you own the copyright to it. But there's nothing much out there yet, so it is still quite in its infancy, I guess, this machine. Although from some of the early videos I saw, they've obviously made quite a few changes already to bits and pieces about it. So that's my 2 cents worth. If you've got one of these, that might be helpful. If you don't, this was probably completely boring and you didn't watch it. So anyway, thank you. That's what I've been doing. Bye for now.